welcome everyone to Music Teachers React to Floor Jansen's fourth vocal masterclass. We're going to be learning about all kinds of advanced vocal techniques from the master herself, Floor. And with me today, I have Jennifer Valaquette, also a music teacher and a really good friend of mine. Hey, Jennifer, how you doing today?
Hi, Matthew. I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
So it's been a while since we've been on here, and I've had some big obstacles that stood in my way before I was able to get together with you and do this reaction video. You can see the background behind me looks different. That's because I'm in a new location. I've got a brand new studio, and I'm really excited for this video. I've been looking forward to this masterclass for some time, and we're going to be learning all about advanced vocal techniques, specifically belting, curbing, and overdrive. What do you
Very
share some thoughts
cool.
with us?
I'm excited about it. And I've been practicing some of the other ones that she taught me as well, and and it's been great.
Yeah, it's really fun to do the warm-ups, and I'm really excited to see where she's going to go with this.
Hello and welcome back to the fourth masterclass. I hope you had a relaxed holiday season and got revived and energized for a whole new year and new vocal exercises. Because today we'll be talking about vocal styles, what kind of different sounds you can make with your voice. Of course, we would warm up first and talk basic techniques, but we've done that in masterclass 2 and 3. So I suggest you watch them first and practice before continuing with this number 4. So we'll be talking about different vocal styles, all the different sounds that you can make with your voice. But for that, we'll make a quick jump back in history. Classical singing is several centuries old and has been documented and, well, better throughout the centuries, while modern singing, not classical, is just a couple of decades old. So these vocal techniques that we have nowadays, all these methods, they're relatively new and they're constantly improving and changing and bettering. There's no such thing as the ultimate vocal Bible, unfortunately, even though I would say a lot of methods that I got to know throughout the years have come very close. It's also a very personal thing, what works or not for everybody differently. But I'd like to run through the different sounds a little bit with you and see where the possibilities and limitations are of vocal styles, because physically something is changing and it's good to be aware of that. That's what we can do today. I'll also be using a few examples of my own singing. When I started singing, the basic knowledge I got was that there was a head voice and a chest voice. And chest voice you sing low, and head voice you sing high. Well, that's not true. You can sing both throughout your entire range. But then there are a lot of technical additions to that I'd like to run through a little bit. So there are different kinds of sounds, and like I said, 100 million different vocal methods with different names for things. But I just want to point out the clear, obvious differences, mostly in sound, and there comes a few rules and regulations we can run through. Now, we start with a lighter head voice that sounds like this. Relaxed jaw. We can sing this throughout the entire range from very low to very high. Always higher notes require more breathing support than the middle range notes, and even the lower notes also require more power. That doesn't mean more volume. And this is the only vocal type where you could even allow a little flow of air on your sound, like this. Only there because when your vocal cords vibrate, they go like this. But when you would go with air through it, it goes like this. So the air literally goes through. What you don't want is on a super high, intense note for it to go like this, because your vocal cords work harder. Well, hence that. You can make the sound a whole lot darker, more towards opera, like this. You can see that I already changed the whole position in my mouth and make a lot more space for it. I don't need to sing it louder per se. I could very easily, and that's a whole operatic technique. I mean, the opera singers of the old days, they would just sing over entire orchestras. Well, I think in some places they still do. all acoustically. So those techniques, well, that's something a real opera singer may tell you one day. My knowledge of that is quite limited, but I do know that I use a lot of the spaces in my head, in my chest, to create that sound. And also this I can use over my entire range and color, in different dark and light and volume, of course. But that's all what we would call head voice then. And we can make a quick jump to chest voice. A lot of the pop songs nowadays, pop songs are sang in a chest voice, a lighter chest voice, in a vocal technique that I started using in the days I was still teaching a lot. I used a vocal method called complete vocal technique by Catherine Sutherland, and she called it curbing. Curbing is a vocal type, or this pop singing, that you cannot sing soft. Soft would become chest voice then, head voice, excuse me. But you can also sing it very, very loud, because then you would switch vocal type again. The nice thing with these rules is that you can very easily recognize what you're doing, and if things don't happen the way you want them to happen, you can go back to, okay, curbing. Yeah, that was vocal type where I can not sing too loud. Then I would have to switch to another one. We start with curbing like this. It's not me, it's not me. You can sing it over your entire range. The higher you get, the harder it is to maintain that not too loud singing. You would easily want to go into something called overdrive or belting. Overdrive. Oh, very big, very loud. You cannot sing it soft. Belting. Yeah. Very loud. You cannot sing it soft. Lot of twang. And these colors you can use differently throughout your song, of course. And then I haven't even talked about all the different colors you can add with a little vibration, a little raw edge perhaps, but that's something for another day. I'd like to go through a couple of examples of how I use these vocal types. In my cover song from Ave Maria, I use all these different vocal types, and it's much easier to hear how they sound like in an actual song. So we'll start with a lighter head voice. I start the song with that, and here comes an example. That was the lighter one, even with a little bit of air allowed in this vocal style. We'll jump to the next one that is a more operatic, rounder, darker sound. I'd also like to tell that with different use of vocal types, you also power from different zones in your body, and especially this rounder, darker, more powerful operatic singing comes from a lot from around the chest. Much more than belly. Of course, the belly is always supporting, but in my case especially, and I guess it's not always only a personal thing, there is a lot happening in the chest region to power out these notes. There they come. Alright, we listened to opera and we go to curbing or pop singing. This song does not really ask for too much of the pop singing, but there is an example we're going to be listening to. Pay also attention to the position of the mouth. That is a little bit different. Opera is a lot of relaxed, all the head voice singing, relaxed jaw, where the pop singing, curbing, overdrive, and belting, the chest voice stuff, has a not relaxed as in it's more in the biting an apple position, not locked, of course, never stress the jaw, but here comes a bit of curbing. And that was curbing or more pop singing, not super loud, but it was already building up to something that we're going to be listening to now. Overdrive. Always loud, a lot of power. I would say you use all the muscles necessary to use this. Never stress the jaw, however. It's a round sound. It's not as twangy as the belting will become, but it still needs the necessary amount to sing that loud. And still it's a bit of the biting apple position of the mouth there also. And we add some more twang and jump to belting full on. I love it. A lot of power, more belly oriented power, not so much chest. Always the back is helping, the latissimus dorsi, those muscles that will help from both the back and the front to belt out the notes, because that's where the power comes from, and of course not from here. You really want your vocal cords to think, yes, I can do this, because you don't want to stress them. They're working hard in these regions. Necessary amount of twang, no stress on the jaw, but the biting apple position once again, that the lower jaw always behind the upper jaw, so it doesn't need to come to the front or try to stress its way through these higher notes. Don't think when you would practice these notes, now comes the high note. It never helps. Don't take that extra amount of air because it's only in your way. It does not require that much air. It requires a lot of power. So here comes some belting. And that was the end of Masterclass number 4. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something. In the next Masterclass, number 5, I would like to go into a more interactive mode with you guys and invite you to write me questions based on the first 4 Masterclasses. I will be selecting a couple of those questions and go through them in front of the camera. There's only left to say, I hope you enjoyed. If you did not subscribe already, please do. You can become a member now even of my channel. Anyway, enjoy your day. Thanks for watching and keep practicing. Bye.
Man, we need to comment her some questions.
I know, right?
Right?
That was, oh my God, those examples she gave.
You know, she illustrates it so beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
So beautifully. And I wasn't sure if we were actually going to be doing, any of those exercises with her. So we're gonna have to go back and try those and talk about it. I think there's going to be a whole nother video.
Yeah.
But obviously starting off with the more operatic, right? Dropping the jaw, right? Just opening the whole everything, right? Like she said, in the back. You imagine if you had wings, where they would be in your body, and like when you breathe in, extra fill that area with air.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, when you breathe out, remember, you're not overfilling. Then that way you can just kind of squeeze that air out with your muscles, and it can just be like releasing slowly. So when she was talking about that breathy sound, putting the air through the chords to get that really poppy sound that's really so popular right now. Definitely cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one that it will break if you push it too hard. It's meant to be a more chill sound.
Yeah.
And then the curbing, or what she was calling the pop singing, right? That was pretty cool.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Her voice is like, it's amazing.
And then of course the overdrive and the belting. we've talked about belting before a little bit. Overdrive is basically a new concept, to me anyway. But basically, it's the way what I gleaned from what she was saying is to just go full on, like,
Mhm.
just use every bit of air from everywhere, have that biting of the apple mouth, and then just really go for it.
Yeah, sounds like that sounds like an awesome way to try for the high notes and stuff. Well, not just the high notes, but
Well, you don't never try for anything. You have to
yeah,
already have the note before you apply the technique to it.
true.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, wow. I mean, that's just an amazing lesson. I'm glad that I waited. I mean, I remember we had scheduled to do this 2 weeks ago or something. I don't
Yeah,
know. And then I was gonna move, and then the blizzard happened, and then
I know.
and then had to delay the move, and then finally just got this internet. But hey, I'll tell you what, the internet's way better than it was, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, Matthew. Congratulations. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we're
Yeah.
going to be doing more mastering music with Matthew. We're going to be doing some panels. If you have any suggestions for topics, guys, you can leave them in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to doing Floors Masterclass 5. Coming up, we've got Season 2 of The Sound. New React videos are going to be coming to you guys with full quality audio this time. I've got my setup all fixed up, and I am really, really excited to be bringing that higher quality, raising the bar for you guys a little bit. I got new covers coming out. I got a mashup that I'm working on. If I hadn't had technical difficulties, I would have already recorded it, but I'm going to be going ahead and getting that mashup out for you really soon, guys. And just really excited about a brand new studio, and really excited about a whole new future for this channel. And everybody, make sure you check out Jennifer's channel. She's got lots of
Thank
cool
you.
music. Make sure you subscribe. Right? She wants to see that same type of growth that she did last year. What was it, like 18 times growth
I
or
don't.
something?
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you, Matthew.
That'd be great if
Yeah.
you did that again, right?
Yeah. Thanks. I got to put some more stuff up. I had to take a break for reasons, but I'm gonna start putting some more stuff up. And Matthew is teaching me some wonderful guitar lessons. So someday maybe I'll put a guitar song on there. That'd be cool.
Cool. Yeah. Definitely. I love to play guitar. I love to sing. I love the saxophone. I love all these things. And
Yeah.
that's why we're here. We're here to help you guys with your music, to learn, and to have a great time. So, I will see you guys next time on Mastering Music with Matthew.